Terminator Dawn of Fate is a prequel to the original Terminator film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. The game is basically a full-blown action-adventure game that puts you in the role of various different characters, including Kyle Reese, the character portrayed by Michael Biehn in the original film. The game starts you out in the future when, although the events in the game take place before the original movie, it is set, of course, in the future when John Connors is leading the charge against the machines which are basically have annihilated the human race. The gameplay in Terminator Dawn of Fate is extremely straightforward. Basically, you just simply plow through each area of the game, holding the trigger down, destroying all of the Terminators. The one addition is that you do have a melee weapon, which is this little baton that allows you to, attack the Terminators hand to hand. Visually, Terminator Dawn of Fate is a good-looking game. There's lots to see, lots going on, good lighting effects, good particle effects, character models used for the resistance spiders. They're all really good. But one major problem with not only the visuals but with the entire game is the camera work. Basically, it's a Resident Evil style setup in that the cameras are typically in fixed positions throughout some areas, although the camera does track you. Basically, if you're running along, you'll see that the camera's mounted a lot of times in front. So if you're running to a place, the camera's actually directly in front of your character, so you're continually running into the screen. It's pretty bad, actually. The camera work is terrible. It leads you to running into a group of Terminators without realizing it. Sometimes it's hard to see where you're going. Sometimes it's hard to see what you're shooting at. The game has an auto-aim feature, and so basically every time you go into a new area, you've got to hit this auto-aim feature and see which way he points, and then instantly hit the first-person view so you can actually see the enemies off the screen. In the audio department, Terminator Dawn of Fate actually has some interesting things in it. First of all, you can listen to it in surround. The music and sound effects in Terminator Dawn of Fate are, for the most part, very, very good. Extremely representative of what you've heard from the movies. You've got the pulse rifles making that distinctive Terminator pulse rifle sound. You have the machine gun fire. You have all kinds of good stuff in there. The voice acting in the game is pretty dreadful, actually. Lots of one-way conversations where it just so happens that there's two people in the room talking roughly about the same thing. Aside from the voice acting and the sound effects, the music, classic Terminator-style music in the background. There's kind of this heavy metal action theme in the background when you're running through the levels. It fits it pretty good, and for the most part, the overall sound and the music, aside from the voice acting, is really good. In the end, Terminator Dawn of Fate is a decent action shooter. It'd be even better if the camera angles worked a lot better. Unfortunately, they don't. It's extremely frustrating. When you walk into a new area and the camera angle switches, the control gets flip-flopped, and so it takes you a half a second to kind of adjust. After playing the game for a couple hours, you kind of automatically adjust, even though it's still frustrating at points. Camera angles aside, the shooting action and hand-to-hand combat, it's not bad. It's done pretty good, actually. The world of the futuristic Earth that's completely destroyed, that you get to see briefly in the films, is represented extremely well here in the game, which is going to be a true joy for Terminator fans if you wanted to see more of Skynet's world that you never got to see in the films. All that aside, if you're looking for a decent action shooting game and tolerate some bad camera angles, then Terminator Dawn of Fate is worth checking out.